dum da dum, dum dum da dum, dum dum da dum, dum da dum, dum da dum. Hi there. I'm here to talk about how to save money at weddings. And I've been a wedding photographer for 20 years. And my daughter and son each got married 6 weeks from each other 4 years ago. So I have a little bit of experience. Settle on your venue, your ceremony site, and your photographer as fast as you can because they get booked a year ahead in no particular order. Find out what the venue will provide. Rented a community center which had the chairs, it had the tables, the kitchen, the restrooms, and the wait. Well, it didn't have the wait staff. That came with our caterer, which was a friend of ours that we hired, and we roasted the pig on the farm and the salmon, and then we took that down to the dinner. And included were chairs, tables, the kitchen, restrooms, and then you want to find out if the wait staff is included. There was no wait staff there. I had it catered. So check out what your venues close by have. A lot of community centers are good deals. Oh, you don't have to have dinner. My daughter had dinner because she's a foodie and that was very important to her. So, but you could have appetizers and cocktails just as well, or tapas, which are appetizers. But that saves money that way, that you don't have to have a whole dinner. So you have the wedding timed or the reception time so that's not at meal time. You can get your bouquet. You can get it from a florist, and you pay about $200 for a bridal bouquet, and I don't know how much boutonnieres are, but we went to Hagen's, which is in the Northwest. It's probably like a Whole Foods or something. They have a florist section, and we had the boutonnieres and the corsages made up, and I just ordered them ahead of time and told them what day I wanted to pick them up, and they're way less expensive than a florist. And as for our flowers, Jessica's looked similar to these. We ordered white roses from Costco and they delivered them. Now I live on an island and I wasn't sure they'd be able to deliver them on the day they said they would. They delivered the day they said they would. And we just took them and I did the Martha Stewart thing, crammed them all together kind of like this, and then wrapped them in a white satin ribbon and stuck those pearl-headed pins. You can get them at Michael's or something, and that was her bouquet. What else? We had a barbecue for the rehearsal dinner. We went ahead and did the rehearsal dinner. Usually the groom's family does it, but we went ahead and did it. And we just roasted hot dogs at a beach. It was a resort that had campfire spaces right there on the beach in the sunset. I'll show you some pictures. And the families off island stayed there and they got the island experience. And so that worked out really well. So it's just hot dogs. I went to the store, at a grocery store on the island, and they have a deli, and they made up this big salad that, what do you call it, vegetarians could eat. So there was a whole dinner that was real affordable, and there was probably 25 people or so there, so that worked. Oh, you can have the ceremony in your own garden. Providing you have a garden or yard. You can have it in your own yard. Just decorate it with crepe paper or balloons or something fun. You can use white balloons, or you pick your color theme, pick 2 colors, and just take it away from there. Had the refreshments in the barn. On our farm, when we had our ceremony, we didn't even rent chairs. Everybody just stood. There was probably about between 20 and 25 people that were at Jessica's ceremony. So we just stood under the pear trees and had the ceremony. At the same time, barbecuing was a whole pig and some salmon, and the pig made enough smoke. When we went in the barn for the refreshments, the photographer took Jessica and her husband up in the loft, and he got this picture. And somebody said that they thought, oh, well, that smoke was so fake, it should have gotten wider at the bottom of the something. No, my photographer said, no, it's real. He didn't Photoshop it. It was because it was smoky outside and it was coming on that sunbeam. So what else? Oh, you can get your dresses at Etsy. I'm so tired of David's Bridal, and everything is strapless. And, excuse me, only about 2 people out of my 20 years experience actually look good in those. always pulling them up to dance in. Your fat's hanging over, I mean, not your fat, but you know what I mean, it's hanging over the side. They're just not flattering. I don't know why everybody wants strapless. My daughter went to Etsy. She saw what she liked. She told the lady what shade of red, because they talked about that. There's different shades of red. And she wanted sleeves, so the lady made little cap sleeves, and I'll insert some pictures of her dress here. Her life, she wanted a red wedding dress. You don't have to be white. You know, express your own individuality. This is your chance. The bride and groom should pay for half or more. There's no reason for parents to pay for it all anymore. The kids end up making more money than the parents do. And let me tell you, parents, there is no loan for retirement. So chip in what you can, tell the kids what your budget is, and if they want 200 people to their wedding, then they can add to that. And if they don't care, then that's fine too. The wonderful thing that Jessica did for us was she just wanted it for fun. That nothing had to be perfect. It was just, she wanted everyone to have a good time and enjoy their meal. There was, you know, we had dancing. It was like to an iPod. So, you know, you didn't have to spend a lot of money for music. Wedding isn't just about the bride. You know, it's not just me, 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 me. It's joining two families. And then after that, it's like a reunion. But this is a union of two families. And that's what a wedding is really about, is joining the two families together. And so try to make it as happy for everybody and include everybody. You know, make everyone have a job. Jessica, with her grandmother, her grandma's, well, now she's 93, so she was like 89, 90 when the wedding was on, and she wanted to help. So Jess took over some plastic silverware, some napkins, and some baling twine, and they wrapped up the napkins and silverware. And my mom she was so happy to be able to help with that. I say get a good photographer and kind of save on other ends, because the pictures, the images are what you're left with. The cake's eaten, the dress is put away, the flowers are gone, wilted, but the photographs are what you're left with, and you can show people, you can show your grandkids. So try to get as good a photographer as you can, and you don't have to spend $5,000, $10,000 on one, you know, unless you have that money for it. And as you'll see, I kind of was interested in the art of it, and with my connections, I got who I wanted.
You might need to reverse a bit.
That's better, yeah.
It's pretty flat.
God, you love it.
You okay?
Yeah, this is fun. I'm just gonna get upset.
I know, man. She's not Marilyn Monroe. She's a married woman now.
I figured it out.
Just grab a hold of it first. Let me set up my lighting, and then you can play with it.
But, you know, I worked out a great deal. You can go see if there's a school nearby, ask if any students kind of thing. Go to PPA, Professional Photographers of America, and you can see who's certified. You know, they're real business and ethical oriented. And because you do want to be careful, I've heard of people waiting a year for their proofs. I got mine out in 2 weeks, so there's no excuse to not get your proofs right away, you know, within a month, I would say. You need to get along with your photographer really well, the bride, because personalities matter. The photographer is with the bride all day, getting dressed to last dance, or not last dance, you know, the mother-son, father-daughter dances and all that, because then after everybody gets drinking, that's not pretty for photographs. Also, when you're interviewing the photographer, ask to see an album of one whole wedding. That's why you can get beautiful images, but you don't know if they're consistently like that, so you want to see the person's style through a whole wedding. You know, how is this going to be covered? Is it going to be the assistant shooting it? Is it going to be who you're interviewing that's going to shoot it? So you get a sense of their style, and you talk to them. You know, portraits are really important to me, so you know I want to spend more time on that. A wedding ceremony takes about 30 minutes, so that you know helps set your time. You know, the photographer's just gonna do that. Portraits are better to be done ahead of time. You look good, and you can do something called first glance, where where the bride and groom see each other for the first time, and then it's recorded, and then you've got that in your album. And so that's really special. Instead of, you know, this, I don't want to see him until I walk up the aisle. You're not going to see his face, you know, because you're way down the aisle. So that's not all it's built up to be. Maybe that was in the days they never saw their spouse until they were getting married. Party favors. You don't need party favors. I mean, they're kind of nice little touch, but it's just so little, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, they aren't that big of a deal for people to, you know, go, oh, where's the party favor? So, you know, you can save on that, you know, put a little more towards a flower or something. And let the venue be the directions. Just, you know, take the bridal bouquet, stick it in a glass of water, and put that on the bridal table. And the bridesmaids' flowers, same thing. Just, you know, decorate the tables with that. And then, you know, where Jessica had hers at our community center, they wouldn't let you decorate anyway because it was a yacht club and they wanted their own flags and stuff not messed with. So we didn't have to do that. We put candles on, little votives on the table, and some little pebbles that look like beachy. Save your money from party favors and put it in something that's important to you, like the photography, or maybe, you know, maybe you do want more flowers, but really pretty much it's flowers, photography, the officiant, which is the minister or, you know, somebody that gets you married, the venue, the cake. Cakes can be expensive. Bouquets can be $200 or more. Cakes are $4 a slice. And another way to save money is to have a small cake and then have sheet cakes in the kitchen for them to slice up. The couple can slice the little cake, and then when it goes back into the kitchen, nobody knows that, you know, there's sheet cakes being sliced up. And sheet cakes are a lot less expensive, and they're easier to cut too. Or you can have a little cake and then have fake layers all decorated, and it looks like a big cake, and then you got your sheet cakes in the back you can slice out. I had a cake. My girlfriend, for a wedding gift, gave Jessica her cake, and so, you know, that was our thing. So have a happy wedding, have a joyful wedding, enjoy your families, it's a joining of them. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all your time. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.